Hey everyone, for today's video, I'll be talking about Goblin Slayer after we saw his new buffs and dream evolutions, and doing a sort of should you summon for him. It looks like his new slots now has a 6-star physical, a 5-star defense, and 4-star physical. Those are all definitely really solid slots, the 5-star defense especially. The 4-star physical is a great slot to use grief on him so that he can be near death. His arts had a slight modifier increase, but the duration doubled to 20 seconds. It's definitely a nice addition, even if the debuff percents didn't increase, since it's able to stack with all other damage and break resist debuffs. The doubled duration makes you not have to alternate it too often, which is nice to be able to focus on your true art more. His true arts had a pretty hefty modifier increase to 75,000, and he now stacks 3 arts per true art rather than 2. The break power and damage near death is the same though. Overall, it's a pretty nice change for Goblin Slayer. This alone won't change Goblin Slayer's breaking potential too much. More so, it just seems like they're trying to make his damage a little more viable, but I think something closer to 90,000 would have been a bit better, or even 100,000, but it's definitely usable like I said, and the extra art per true art is really nice, since he'll be able to go crazy when his true art is used in succession. His passive demon killer was increased from 50% to 100%. It's definitely quite the damage increase. It'll have a fairly noticeable change against demons, which is pretty nice, and definitely similar to the anime. As for his dream evolutions, his Crimson Dream increases his damage by 150% during break, and increases his arts by 2 a second. And for his Spectral Dream, he gets 100% break power against demons, as well as giving all allies 20% skill CT speed up. Out of the two, I'd definitely go with Spectral Dream, because while the 150% damage and break is pretty nice, it's only going to be for the short time during break, and even with his current modifier increase, damage doesn't seem to be what he wants to be going for. With Spectral Dream, it allows him to become an even stronger breaker, and that AoE skill CT speed is actually really good. It'll be especially great on the Decelia Nova Crest where he needs to break Regulus, and even in other stages, at max skill stacks and low health, he'll have a total of 500% break up, which when added to his true art, if it stays at 3000 break per true art, he'll be doing 15,000 break per true art total, which is definitely a very noticeable amount of break, especially when he's stacking his arts gauge to allow him to go directly back into another true art. That's not even talking about him holding a break equip like Platina's true weapon, in which case it would do 40,000 break in a single use. It's also nice for the other stages in Summoner's Road that need a breaker, especially against demons. But at the same time, I could actually eventually see Crimson Dream being needed, but more so for stages that you're only able to damage them and break. In that case, the extra 100% break won't really be needed, and that 150% break damage will really shine, giving him 550% damage in break at max stacks, or 650% against the demon. But as it is a much more niche passive, I'd just barely choose Spectral Dream, although if you want to go crazy and break to try and make Goblin Slayer a more usable DPS, you could consider Crimson Dream, but seeing how his damage doesn't seem to be his selling point, the break power will definitely be more useful, although some stages will definitely want that break damage and passive arts, so choose carefully. Overall, besides dream evolutions, not much has really changed about Goblin Slayer. It seems like they tried to focus more on making him a damager, but he would have benefited a little more from a higher multiplier, although with how he'll be able to spam, 2 true arts equaling out to 150,000 damage is actually fairly good, so long as he's able to let loose and keep damaging. His dream evolution buffs are also pretty good, although they won't make him meta at all. It seems like the devs were trying to make him as strong as possible, but they just barely missed the mark, especially considering someone like Chobe exists who just came out. Goblin Slayer is basically trying to be Chobe, except without nearly as much damage. Goblin Slayer's only perk is that his break and damage is packed together into his true art, so it's a lot faster to get off. If you're looking for a strong DPS, there are certainly better options as well, not only with current units, but future units like Jay, who are gonna blast everyone else's damage out of the water. I wouldn't wail for him at all, but if you do happen to get him from doing tickets or a 50 pull, he'll definitely be a fun unit to try in the Summoner's Road stages that need break or the Decelia Nova Crest. Not to say he's meta by any means, but he's certainly a bit more usable, especially as a breaker. Let me know your thoughts about him down below though. Are you going to try and go for him? There is a guaranteed collab step up for 176 paid gems for anyone interested, so there is a chance, albeit expensive. That's it for the video though. This isn't the most detailed look of his kit since they didn't include the break numbers and such, but I wouldn't think that they'd be changing it, so it shouldn't be an issue. If you did enjoy the video, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Be sure to look out for the showcases, especially on the DC Nova Crest stage, and I'll see you later.